I was coming home from a long day one spooky night like tonight. I found a game cartridge in the dirt and clay, discarded, thrown in fright. I read the title, The Worm Man, before I plugged it into my machine. And that's when the horror really began, my game on Halloween. As the cartridge, all covered in sludge, made illuminations on my screen, a spirit emerged from the pixels of smudge, and it was the scariest that I had ever seen. It was the Worm Man from the abyss, a ghost as far as I could tell. And if the other spooky specter were to exist, it would fear this demon as well. It was the Worm Man, a neck so long, the Worm Man, a jaw so strong, a mouth that was circular with segmented form, the kind of thing that you'd expect from half man, half worm. The Worm Man, he melts balls of light. The Worm Man, he was a writhing sight. He crawled from the screen looking for souls to consume, and if you summon him, he'll come for you too. The Worm Man gave out an eerie shriek from the void at the top of his corpse, and as the 10-foot-tall beast joins the creak, his figure only shivers and warps. He had 2 legs that sometimes crawled on all fours, like a giant with a worm for a head. And though his math writhed more and more, I knew that this being was dead. He spat glowing orbs that felt like souls, but malevolent all the same. And though I couldn't really tell you his goals, I knew that he was chaos inane. His teeth arranged in a circular order, gnashed angrily and even louder than that, as I was forced to look on in horror while the Worm Man ate my cat. What? He ate my cat? The Worm Man, the worst to exist. The Worm Man died in 1986. When he was alive, no one knew his name, so he transformed himself into a game. He was the Worm Man, like an elongated weasel. The Worm Man, chaotic evil. He tried to eat me, no one knows why, but if you encounter him, surely you'll die. The beast had a neck that he could extend faster than you'd ever expect, and from his mouth you could never defend, cause his neck is so erect. After he was done snacking on my pet, he turned his gaze right at me, and then my pants were totally wet, and it may or may not be from pee. I ran to the kitchen and away from that ghoul, looking for weaponry to prevent his assault. And the first thing that they teach you in ghost killing school is that demons really hate salt. So I took all the shakers that I could find to dehydrate that evil worm. And when I saw those orbs in the eye of my mind, I flung it all right at his form. He was the Worm Man, starting to shrivel up. The Worm Man, God, won't you give me luck? The beast started jolting, and with a great tug, retracted and extended his head like a slug. He was the Worm Man, couldn't handle my genia. The Worm Man, hypernatremia. The power went dark, and the plugs fell out, and the ghost dissolved with one great shout. Whoa! back in his cartridge, and the game and console ceased to meet. And like the ring wearer from a failed marriage, I flung my jewel into the street. Though I hope that the game will be destroyed, and along with it, that ghost. Part of me knows it'll just be seen as a toy for its next unsuspecting host. After sweeping the salt and fixing the lights, I went up into the bed. And though I found it a terribly sleepless night, the fear diluted in my head. But all that changed when I looked outside for that cartridge all alone. But it seemed like the worm man hitched a ride, a shipment to your home.